Good evening, iGreyhound viewers. Today, we have a truly special episode for everybody because, as you all know, this program, iGreyhound, has always been hosted by the incomparable Dr. Maria Cecilia Genove, a woman whose charisma and depth have made this program a favorite platform for meaningful conversations here at Foundation University. But you know what? Tonight, we are flipping the script. This time around, our beloved host steps into the guest seat for an exciting reason, and that is her accomplishment as the author of the book entitled A Lifetime of Learning, the Story of an Academic Trailblazer. Now, for those of you who have already read it, you will agree that this book beautifully chronicles the inspiring life and legacy of Dr. Mira Sinco, our very own Mira of Foundation University. She is our President Emeritus. So I'm inviting everybody to please join me as we explore Ma'am Cecile's journey in writing this remarkable biography, the lessons she has learned, and the incredible story of the trailblazer her book celebrates. My name is Gabrielle Bacang, and it's truly an honor to turn the spotlight on someone who has spent her life shining this spotlight on others. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us all give a warm iGreyhound welcome to Ma'am Maria Cecilia Genove.
Hi, Miss Angela. Truly,
Hello.
This is exciting. No? The tables are turned this time, but I think this is only my second time to be interviewed, really, in my entire
So when was
career.
the first time?
Well, it was here in iGreyhound also when I turned over Speak 101.
Oh.
Yes.
And who was the host that time? One of
The
our
host
students?
was our Harasa FU then, Miss Hannah Kesha Rial.
Oh, okay. I remember. Yes, Hannah.
Yes.
Okay, Ma'am Genove, Dr. Genove, how do you feel being the guest this time?
You know, all the while I thought that I was very comfortable being a host. But this time, I am having the jitters because now the tables are turned and I feel like I am on the hot seat because I'll have to answer questions from you.
So which one is more on the stressful one, being the host or being the guest?
I think it's being the host because you have to make sure that you carry the show and that you have to make your guests really comfortable as well. But you're doing a great job.
Yeah, actually right now I'm a little bit anxious, but in a good way, because I see you as, this is my term, an institution in terms of journalism and broadcasting. And right now, I'm taking your seat for the meantime to interview you. I'm so excited for the things you will have to say for us. And as you know, we have prepared a lot of questions for you because we will know more about your story as the writer of this beautiful book. So, Ma'am Genove, are you ready now for our first question?
Yes, exciting.
Okay, I believe we should start with the book itself. So, first question is, what inspired you to write this book of Mira?
Actually, this has been a commissioned work, no, Miss Ange?
Yes.
The university has commissioned me to write the biography of no less than our President Emeritus, Dr. Mira Sinco. But at the same time, I thought that this is truly such a challenge. Not only is it a challenge, but it's a big responsibility on my shoulders because how can you put life into someone who is also larger than life herself, Dr. Mira Sinco? I think all our viewers will agree with me. You will also agree with me that she is an icon. I think she is the institution. No?
That's right.
And not only are we, I don't think we are intimidated by Ma'am Mira, but we feel like we are up for a great challenge, especially when we speak with her. And that is how I felt. So I thought at the back of my mind, yes, okay, I'm going to accept this commissioned work, but at the same time, will I be able to live up to what the university is expecting? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my feeling.
I can't imagine the pressure on your part.
Exactly.
When you talk about it's a little bit challenging to speak with or interact with Mira. Now, my next question is, how did you approach capturing Dr. Mira Sinco's story and her legacy in this book?
Yes, okay. first and foremost, the challenge is more than that, no? Because I had to keep it, or we all had to keep it a secret from her.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one, and I think no one, well, except of course our higher
Perhaps you.
authorities, no? Our university administration officials, but certainly not with Mira. You don't tell her that there is a book in the offing about her life, because certainly she wouldn't want it. So that was the greatest, perhaps, I don't know if I can call it as a challenge, but a responsibility on my part not to spill the beans on her, no? Thus, each time I talk to her, it should not sound like it's an interview. It's just like a conversation, an ordinary tete-a-tete, and
Casual.
that was, yes, a very casual conversation, and that was how I approached my so-called interview with her. But I remember a time when, Miss Ange, when some colleagues of ours and some students also interviewed Mira, and we had recorded it, but we made it appear that it was for some snippets or some footage to celebrate our 75th or Diamond Jubilee anniversary, but certainly not for a book. So no one really, of course not me, of course, told her that it was a research, it was a book about her, that I was already interviewing her for a forthcoming book. So that
Yes.
was the great responsibility.
I think that is so Mira, because I remember last time, a long time ago when I was still a student, she saw this really large picture of her on the newspaper, and she didn't like it. So that's why, yeah, I agree with you. You have to keep this book a secret, because not all the time that she likes to be on the spotlight,
Yes,
under
yes,
the
yes,
spotlight.
yes.
Yes, next question, ma'am. What part of Dr. Sinco's life or career do you feel had the greatest impact on Foundation University?
You know, the title of the book, no, which I concocted, she's an academic trailblazer, really, no? Because I think I'd like to describe Mira as someone who was born ahead of her time, okay? Even if she was born at the time when women were not supposed to be up in the limelight,
True.
women were not supposed to be holding administrative or even
Yes, or
leadership positions, but she was making it big. She was making waves, not only in the Philippines, but even abroad, yes. And that's quite difficult to conquer, especially if you're an Asian, coming from the Philippines, and you make it big abroad. But she was able to do that, no? So truly, she's a trailblazer. Truly, I'd like to call her also as a pioneer, no? Blazing the trail, no? We're just going around the words, no? Blazing the trail for women like us, no? You and me, who are building a career for themselves. And I think that is what makes a very great impact on Foundation University, the faculty and staff, and even the students. So she's really a woman to emulate.
Blazing the trail.
Yeah,
That's
right.
really true. Now, when writing the book, were there any surprising discoveries about Dr. Mira and her journey that you have encountered while researching?
Yes, okay. Her son, no, her younger son, Mr. Luis Leandro
Sir Tata.
Sinco, yes, who we fondly call Sir Tata, said that while we were preparing for the book, no, conceptualizing it and everything, he said something like this: why is there a need to, like, of course, is there a need to write a book about my mother? After all, her life is an open book. But I said, I think, sir, there are still so many things to discover
Untold.
about Mira. And I think one particular aspect of Mira that I would say really struck me, no? I think that was your query, that struck me is her being able to combine a very successful career and also a very happy, successful home life.
Yes.
I'm like...
No, you're getting emotional because
right.
you're a mom. Imagine
yeah.
she had to leave two young boys.
Yes, right. And you know, not all women, well, of course, you can very well combine, no, career and home life, but like not all women can be successful at both, no? Yeah, carving a career for themselves, no? And still being able to make sure that the family is intact, the family is doing well, and that is what Mira exactly did.
Yes.
And she did that while she was in the U.S. and of course while she was here also in the Philippines.
Yes, because she was a scholar, a Fulbright scholar.
Yes,
Imagine
right.
that. It's really
Yes.
remarkable.
And it's a top scholarship, huh?
Yes,
to be able to
not
get.
everyone gets it.
Yes, right.
True. Now, you spoke about the family members. So my question last for this area about the book is, how do you hope the readers will feel after reading about Dr. Mira's contributions to education and leadership?
If I were probably one of those who may be behind giving another award to an individual like Ma'am Mira, she could very well be receiving. So there's an award that says something like, it's a moniker, no? The Outstanding Filipino Award or something. She could very well be an outstanding Filipino, no? After all, she has carved a niche for herself, no, in the field of education. She has made a lot of accolades, no, as far as her contributions in the field of education is concerned. Not only are these awards more of what she has achieved, but more of what she has done for Foundation University. And that's really something that all of us here in the university should be aware of, no? Especially that she's a woman, of course. She's a woman and has really helped Foundation University where the university is now on her 75th.
Now, this book will be the tool that everybody will get to know her more.
Yes, right.
Besides our conceptions about her.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure you have collaborated with different members of her family, including, of course, her sons. Now, how did that influence the narrative?
Yeah, okay. Little did I realize that the two sons of Ma'am Mira really had really made a hands-on like impact on the book, no? Of course, I had to show the draft to them, not because they may want to revise the entire book, no? Of course, certainly nothing like that. But I wanted to ensure that the book is accurate, no? The book really has the veracity of facts and so on. But these two gentlemen, no less than our president, Sir Dean Sinco, and of course Sir Luis Sinco, they made sure that every nitty-gritty detail of Ma'am Mira is somehow included in the book. And even if there were situations in their lives, in their family life, where it could probably have been made as maybe as a secret or maybe something that should not be divulged anymore, we mentioned it. We mentioned it in the book, but of course in a very diplomatic way, no? No going into details, but the essence is there that before they were able to reach this far, they also went through, a lot of a myriad of challenges, which now looking back, I think no one who is made of less sterner stuff would be able to get out of. And this is the Sinco family. Yes, I cannot imagine, really.
Now, I'm more excited to read it, Ma'am Genove, because right now I haven't read it.
Yeah, okay.
So listening to you, I'm really more excited. All right. How about a little story about the writing process of the book?
Okay. I wonder if I may have shared this with you, Miss Ange, in our conversations, our light conversations. But writing has always been my passion. I don't know of any other occupation or maybe any other skill that I can do except writing. Writing and, of course, speaking. The writing process actually took me, the writing process itself, took me about 2.5 months,
Really?
2.5 months. Okay, is that long enough or
no?
Short enough?
I was thinking it took you a year.
The year, okay. The year long situationer is like the preparation itself, the preparation, the meetings here and there, the conceptualization, my preparation of an outline, which I am very grateful and thankful that our university president and even our authorities approved it. They approved it without any revision at all. So they followed the outline. Of course, I followed my own outline, and that was the start of the process. But of course, the year-long process included interviews, getting in touch with people, gathering information, of course, doing research, but of course, in the university, we have other tasks, right, Miss Ange?
I'm sure.
Yeah, we have responsibilities. So even if I was already getting down into the writing process itself, there were many times that I had to stop and leave it and put it aside first, But how I wished I could have gone on and write it already. But I think that's the process of writing. You don't really finish an entire chapter in one sitting unless you are not doing anything else, So the whole process really took a year. Everything, research, as I mentioned. What else? Conceptualization, thinking. Because after all, I believe that even if you may not be writing or doing the writing process itself, the process of thinking is already part of the preparation. No?
Yes.
But the writing process where I just sat down and did nothing else is 2.5 months. No?
Wow.
But in the middle of it all, I still had other responsibilities in the university. Yes, teaching and hosting this show and others. But I have to credit the two sons of Mira. No? They were not really the sole source of information, but they were the main source of information. Of course, Mira herself, no? Little did she know it, that while we were talking, I was already like gathering information, but I did not take down notes because she wouldn't like it, no? And I have to also acknowledge her youngest sister, Mrs. Pinky Dragon Laher. She's all of 79 years old. I have not met her at all, Miss Ange, but she was very, very gracious to receive my calls. We talked over the phone. No?
Online?
We talked on the cell phone, on mobile phone, because she's based in Manila. I talked to her, and she was very gracious. It's as if we have known each other for a long time. My gosh, no? And even if it was in the middle of a holiday or a weekend, I would chat with her because she's on social media. I would chat with her and then give her a call again to like verify certain facts. And she was very helpful. And that was where I also got some photos, some old photos of the family. And of course, Sir Dean and his brother, Sir Tata, also provided some old photos of the family. Very nice, really.
So I think it's a combination of excitement and of course challenges while writing the book.
Yeah,
but
right.
you know what, ma'am, listening to you, I couldn't imagine in 2 months writing a beautiful book that would really give justice to who Ma'am Mira is.
Yes.
There's no other person who can do that. I think that's just only you here in the university.
No naman. I think there will be others who will also be able to come up with something like that.
So you're talking about being as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
So how did you ensure authenticity and accuracy in recounting Dr. Mira Sinco's life?
Yeah, this is where the experiences of people who have worked with her very closely came in. No? So you may notice, or later on when you read the book, there were quotes that I got from people who have worked with her very closely. In fact, I could not get quotes from all, because after all, I just had to pick some, those who really have worked with her very, very closely. So I verified with them, is this how it was? No? Is this how Mira was? Or how Mira is? And they related it to me, actually. So that was how I made sure that everything is really authentic and accurate.
Okay. And what other challenges, for sure, Ma'am Genove, have you faced during the writing process?
Yes.
Were there things that somehow made you cry?
Yeah, you know, in the middle of writing it, Miss Ange, because now I got to, while writing it, of course, you get to know the person who you are writing about, right? And I don't want to like spill the beans, I don't want to like preempt the readers who would want to read the book, but there were instances in Mira's life that I was able to relate also.
Now you're getting emotional again.
Yeah, I know.
You told me it's a mix of sweat and tears.
Yeah, blood, sweat, and tears, really. So there were instances in Mira's life that I am able to relate.
Yes.
Yeah. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Can you give an example?
I think her struggle, as a wife and as a mother, but the struggle that she went through was actually more of keeping the family together, keeping the family intact, and at the same time, making sure that the university, the institution founded by her father-in-law, would still be around and would still be, would still be kept alive, especially at this time.
Now I got a little carried away looking at you.
Right.
All right, ma'am. Now let's go to the professional and personal insights of yours. As a professor at Foundation University, how has Dr. Mira Sinco's legacy influenced your teaching and professional growth?
This is one thing that all of us, I think, faculty, staff, students, and even the alumni should say, wow, you would be embarrassed if you do not live up to what Mira actually started in the university. If you fall below the standards that she has set, I think you're going to say, my goodness, am I Am I worthy to be called a greyhound or a foundationite? Because she set the standards, no?
True.
Ma'am Mira set the bar. Thus, as always, no? Now I have come to realize, as always, especially when sometimes we can get a little bit laid back or something like that, no? Then I always tell myself, my goodness, will Ma'am Mira like this? Will Ma'am Mira like give her thumbs up or approve of how I am
These are worries
carrying myself?
in your mind.
Yes, right. Because she set a standard which it's difficult to follow, huh? Because she's a very rigid, disciplined person, which
True.
sometimes we may like fall maybe not too far from where she has come from.
Okay. Now going back
Or
to
not
the
too
launching
close, not too
ceremony,
close, yeah.
I was there too.
Yeah, right.
So you said it was a secret at first.
Yes.
And then during that day, during the launching, that was when she found out about the book. Now, what was her reaction? And what did she say to you?
Yeah, actually, I did not have time anymore to ask her.
Okay.
In fact, I wanted also to get her autograph, no? For the book, but because of the pandemonium, because of all the excitement, I wasn't able to talk to her anymore. But I think after the launching, when I met her here on campus, I think I asked her, "Ma'am, have you read the book?" Now I remember that. I asked her, "Ma'am, have you read the book?" And then she said, "No." Oh, she said that, "No, maybe
It was
not
a joke.
yet. Maybe not
Okay.
yet. Maybe not yet."
Okay.
No? Yeah.
Hopefully she has read it by now because
Yes.
she had time during the Christmas holiday.
Yes, right.
Oh my
right.
God. Mom, what is your most memorable personal interaction with Dr. Mira Sinco?
Okay. Yes, that's very nice, no? I was quite honest with her in one of our conversations. I was honest with her. I said, "Ma'am, you know what? I admire you because you're both a homemaker and at the same time a career woman." And then I said, "But I am not." No, I told her I am not. I think I'm more focused on my career. But not that I leave my family behind. No, but somebody else does that for me, no? The home chores, the home chores and all. Of course, taking care of the children, that's part of what I am also doing. But I told her, "Ma'am, I cannot do what you do. You cook, you clean, you manage to go to school, you teach, you work, and also manage the university and so on." And then she said, "Yes, because that's what she would always refer to her grandmother and say, because that is what my grandmother taught me, that when you marry rich, you have to work. When you marry a poor man, you also need to work. And when you go to graduate studies and you get your degree, you still have to work."
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, Ma, my goodness."
Her wisdom always goes.
Right.
Okay. What do you think other educators or leaders can learn from her story?
You know, that's really a whole lot of her 90-year-old life, no? 90-year legacy, no? And even counting. Because after all, being at the helm of a university like Foundation University, and not because she's a woman, no? Because I do not want to demean any woman. All women, of course, no, can have or can occupy leadership positions, not only in education, but even in government. But I think what fellow educators can emulate, no, from Ma'am Mira's life is the fact that she really has left an imprint on everyone. Her combination, I think I'd like to put it this way, her combination of the traditional method and at the same time embracing new ways, new strategies in teaching, new pedagogies in teaching. I think that is what makes her and Foundation University rise above the rest, no? It's not only focusing on technology, perhaps, no? Or not only focusing on the traditional, but a combination, yes, a balance. And that is what Ma'am Mira has always been hankering about, no? Let's not forget our traditions, let's not forget our customs and other things that we have learned from way back, and then combine it and make the most of what we have, no?
Yes.
And she always tells us, well, at least in our conversations, that why do we need to get out of the city, no, of Dumaguete? Why do we need to go elsewhere when in fact Foundation University is here and we are the best? That is what she said.
Yes, and that's really true.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to go to a resort, because when you enter the campus, it's like a resort and an educational institution all in one.
Yes, so the atmosphere is very conducive.
Okay, can I ask you to please invite our viewers to buy and read the book?
Yes. Thank you very much again, Miss Angela, for this opportunity. Now I know if the tables are turned, now that I'm on the hot seat. But anyway, Foundation University has truly been such a blessing, no? And journeying with me, for example, in this particular endeavor of writing the biography of no less than our President Emeritus Dr. Mira Dragon Sinco, is such a wow, a welcome opportunity and a big task that I can say I was able to heave a sigh of relief, because at last this has materialized. And thus, while we are yet also printing more copies of the book, may I invite everyone to please connect with us here at Foundation University for you to be able to buy copies, for you to be able to get where you're going to get your copies from. And please just connect with our website in the university and with all of us here, so that we can share to you the life and legacy of our beloved Ma'am Mira.
All right. Thank you so much,
Salamat.
Dr. Genove. It's really an honor to be listening to you, being the guest. And you know, I'm also thankful to the crew of iGreyhound for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to interview not only my friend, my mentor, but also my superior in the EB broadcasting program, the chairman of our broadcast communication program here at the university. And to everyone, you know where to go. You know what to do to procure a copy of the book. Once again, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, iGreyhound Foundation University. This has been Angela, and adios. Since its inception in 1949, Foundation University has carved a place in academia, the home of the Greyhound. This school is a vanguard of technology, innovations, strategy, collaboration, and new directions towards excellence and quality. It has grappled with various challenges, most recently the worldwide pandemic. Its faculty and staff, students, and alumni remain true to the core values of excellence, commitment, integrity, and service. Foundation University will soon celebrate its Diamond Jubilee anniversary. It stands ready for what the future holds. We have built a community of influence started by founder Dr. Vicente G. Sinco. It is committed to a mission of making education accessible to all. On our 75th, Foundation University thrives to consistently realize its mission and vision, strives to be relevant in the exigencies of the times, comes alive despite circumstances, and in the process makes a headway for a high five to the rest of the world.
High five!